Here I am once again with another episode of Living in Denver. My name is Adam, and if this is the first time watching one of these videos, welcome. I make videos every week and share with people that potentially are out of state just a little bit more about what makes Denver, the Mile High City, so special. So if you are considering moving to Denver, you're in the right spot. If you haven't yet, my email, my phone number, and website are listed down here below. Feel free to reach out at any time if you're ever interested in connecting so I can just learn a little bit more about what you're looking for and hopefully provide some value to you and share a little bit more about why I've chosen to live in Denver, Colorado for my entire life, 40 years. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite neighborhoods in Denver, Colorado. So you're not going to want to miss this. I've got some really fun historic facts as well as just some really good information if you're somebody that maybe doesn't know too much yet about Denver. So you're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. All right, as I said earlier, today we're going to be sharing a few of my personal favorite neighborhoods that are close to all the action and excitement of downtown Denver. So if you're somebody that's a young professional or maybe just a person or a family that loves to be around where all the new up-and-coming restaurants and bars and nightlife is located, these are the spots you're going to want to live. And if you haven't realized yet, I am a licensed real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. My name is Adam Lang, and I work for eXp Realty. My phone number, my email, my website, everything's listed down here below. I'm available 24/7. So if you're just somebody that's maybe not sure yet if Denver's the place for you, or maybe you've already identified that this is where you want to move to, reach out. I'd love to set up a Zoom call, just to spend 10 or 15 minutes with you, learn a little bit more about what is really important to you and hopefully find out a way that I can provide some value. So really looking forward to connecting with you. But as I said, let's get started. Here are some of my favorite neighborhoods close to downtown Denver. Let's go. All right, so I want to share another neighborhood with you. This one is a little bit different from some of the others that I've talked about before, and this one is called Capitol Hill. So as the name implies, you can imagine this is close to the state capitol. With that, you can also imagine comes a lot of very politically active, very forward-thinking type demographic of residents. However, there's also a lot of youth, there's a lot of young people that live in this area, also a lot of people that have been around and just lived in the neighborhood for 50, 60 years. So you have another neighborhood in Denver that's pretty eclectic. You have a good mixture of a little bit of everything. So depending on what street you're on, you can really see a lot of variety from one to the next. It's definitely, I would say more than anything though, Capitol Hill is really known for its diverse community, that diversity, and definitely a lot of really historic architecture. So again, talking about location and where it is on a map or just kind of those specific boundaries, we have Colfax Avenue to the west. We have a street called Downing Street to the north. We have York Street to the east. And we have 7th Avenue to the south. So Capitol Hill really isn't that large of an area, but I will also say it has some phenomenal parks. So even though it's not that large of an area, it has some of the best parks in the state, in my opinion. A few of those would be like Cheeseman Park, Civic Center Park, and Congress Park. All three of those really popular, especially on like the 4th of July weekend. You go down to this part of town, they have really cool live music festivals, all sorts of stuff going on. So definitely keep that in mind if you're ever out in Denver over the summertime. For schools, we've got East High School, we have Maury Middle School, some pretty good schools, especially for sports. East High School's had a really good basketball team off and on for pretty much my whole life. So definitely some pretty good athletes in this part of town. And as you also can imagine, Capitol Hill is very, full of rich history. It's one of definitely the most diverse, politically active neighborhoods, like I said. It actually was originally a really prestigious residential area back in the day where a lot of the Denver elite used to live, which I think is always a fun fact to share. It has the site of the Molly Brown House, for example, and that's the home of Molly Brown is the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Hey, who thought of the name Titanic? Was it you, Bruce?
And she was, one of the survivors of the Titanic. Definitely a really fun place you can go check out, and they have a little tour there you can do. And if you're into history, a pretty fun spot to check out. And a lot of the neighborhood itself, it was It was developed, I believe, in the late 1800s, so pretty old, and it was home to, again, a lot of these very prominent citizens, politicians, businessmen, socialites. So back in the day, Capitol Hill was the spot to be. And it was named, as you can imagine, after the Colorado State Capitol building, which is located just a few blocks away from this part of town. So it was definitely, like I said, a very prestigious neighborhood in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. A lot of grand Victorian homes that you'll notice because of that. A lot of history, a lot of really old mansions, which are fun to walk around and check out. But as times have changed, a lot of these also unfortunately have been torn down and redeveloped into newer developments, apartment buildings, stuff like that. So there still is, though, a lot of historic qualities to this part of Denver. So one of the other most important cultural and historical landmarks also, in addition to the Molly Brown House, is the Governor's Mansion and also the Denver Botanic Gardens. Denver Botanic Gardens is one of my favorite places to recommend to people, especially over Christmas. They do an amazing job with decorating the whole area with not only all these incredible plants and all sorts of flora and fauna, but they have a really great Christmas light display to accompany that. So if you're here over Christmas time, definitely check out the Botanic Gardens. It sells out way in advance, so you have to get your tickets early December, and they stay actually open for the Christmas stuff through like the middle of January. So if you don't get it in time for Christmas, check online, and you might just end up having to go a few days after Christmas. So this neighborhood, like I said a second ago, it definitely underwent a significant amount of changes, and that was kind of in that mid 20th century. So after that kind of original popularity that I talked about, and that was the time when a lot of these really big homes and mansions did get replaced with apartment buildings and different commercial properties. So you still though can see a good eclectic mix of both. And like I said, despite the changes, this neighborhood really has managed to just maintain that historic feel, that character, that charm, some of these historic landmarks, cultural institutions, just really vibrant. So I think out of all the different neighborhoods in Denver, this is one that has the most character. So if that's really important to you, definitely check out this neighborhood. Very diverse, eclectic. I'm trying to think of other words to use to describe it, but I think the big difference, though, more recently has been just some of this redevelopment. So there is a little bit more residential, apartments, stuff like that, and a little bit more commercial being built. So definitely also known for its nightlife. So since it is so close to downtown Denver, really good variety of bars, restaurants, even a couple very popular music venues. So if you guys are into live music, this is definitely an area where you could literally walk from your house to some great spots to check out live music. Denver in general has really, really good live music between Red Rocks, some of these different venues downtown. One of my favorite parts about living here in Denver. And I guess I'll share too just a few of my favorites, so kind of some local favorites for this area. The Capitol Grill, one of the best steaks in town, awesome spot. The Hornet is another very popular restaurant. They've got some live music in there occasionally too, which is fun. I mentioned at the beginning of this video about some of the parks. So again, Cheeseman Park, Civic Center Park, and Congress Park. All three of those are really fun places to go in the summertime and just hang out for the day. A lot of big events that they also host there. So really cool spot to have so close to where you live if you live in this area. And last but not least, I'll just share with you guys a few metrics, a few real estate facts for the end of 2022. So in December of 2022, the median home price in North Capitol Hill. So Capitol Hill does have a little bit of a variety between where the nicer homes are, nicer meaning more expensive homes, a little bit more developed, higher end homes. That's what we would consider North Capitol Hill. So the median home price for the end of 2022 for North Capitol Hill was $515,000, and the average price per square foot in that area was $470, and the average days on market for that was 26. So again, if you're into that more progressive feel in a neighborhood and you still want to be close and walking distance to a lot of great activities, definitely check out this part of town, Capitol. Hopefully you got some value out of this, maybe even learned a thing or two with some of those history facts that I shared with you. But again, what I wanted to just leave you with more than anything is that I am a licensed real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. My name is Adam Lang with Adam Sells Denver and eXp Realty. I would love to connect with you. So even if you're not sure if Denver's the place for you, reach out to me. My phone number, my email, my website, everything's listed down here below. And just shoot me a message and let's connect. We can also set up like a quick 15-minute Zoom call and just get a chance to learn a little bit more about what your interests are and what is maybe motivating you to consider moving to the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. I would love to learn how I can provide more value to you. So with that being said, look forward to talking to you guys soon, and I'll see you on the next episode of Living in Denver. Talk to you then.